Hope is the light in all of us that cannot be extinguished. To stir that fire, University of Phoenix is awarding up to $1 million in scholarships through this month. See what scholarship you qualify for.
Tilted brim like Goldie talking. Prior listener, my prior women had no remorse. When they tried to end them, no discourse, no discussion. I'm all alone. And all the people with the big hats on went home. So what you gonna do now, Goldie? Your bottom left you. It's up to me and you, Goldie. Do introspection, you ain't Goldie, you Nas. And my heart ain't cold as it was. And I go for multiple love, triangles over and over enough. I talk to my boxing trainer. He's my logic explainer. Conversations through our combinations. He told me stick and move. And different rules apply to different women. Some women's in the Lincoln women. Some women's independent. Some women want brothers who educated. Some women want business leather seats that are perforated. Some do malevolent snake shit. And you can miss me with that big head. Die long superb, flies cars on the curve. World when I evolved, the higher guard. More sudden, come from the stress and this funk. Young shit, obsessed in the world about it. Took advantage of a woman alive and wanted to foul it. Someone say I was childish, money driven. Deceived as I was even as living. Gifts and ribbons and the kisses on the list forbidden. I was on it. See, Curry didn't shorty was cornered. No worries for the naughty, it was our performance. So was it really? The games that I was playing was silly. Similar to them days when I was back in that millie. It could've killed me. Of course, it never crossed in my mind. She calling crime. Being more concerned why she ain't falling in line was bugging. Move a lot since they said I was stubborn. Guess it's real, even players be loving. When you enamored by female companions, there's no standards. What you did and it's twisted dynamics, that's the damage. Reflecting no first impressions, what she expecting. Why women don't follow directions? It's the I was intrigued by fine women. I realized some would drop dead gorgeous, living a lie. Oblivious to beauty inside, truly defines will you walk with me or are you there for the ride? For better or worse, every blessing and curse. Understand exotic sands come after the dirt. I was dealing since adolescent, thinking my girl was my possession. I stand corrected. It takes understanding and affection. Time is money. I need growth for my investment. I don't like attention unless it's a woman with majestic grace like an empress in essence. Let's just chill, catch vibes in the grill, celebrating. Many of us never made it. Whatever brings you down won't elevate you. Like a real one beside you is very crazy. You not a top 5, nigga dead or alive. Nigga a bitch, firm mafiosa shit. Ain't no Esco, name a bitch fuckin' with me. Did a bullet came home, Brooklyn gave me the key. No cap though, facts though, nigga that's really rap though. Like really though, my nigga she really rap though. Like really though, my nigga she really rap though. In my low, hey everyone, today we're today we're going to get started, and basically I'm going to be talking about businesses and how you can start your own business. It's very easy to start your own business. Many times we see people in the struggle all the time. They're working for companies. They can't afford their own insurance. They can't afford decent stuff. They can't afford to fully take care of the household responsibilities because they're always in some type of struggle. There's always bills to pay. There's always something going on in their family. There's something that affects their financials. And then the companies that they work for, they don't. Sorry. I'll be right back. And then the companies that they work for, they don't always respect them the way that they are supposed to. And so I'm going to give you all some tips. I'm not going to go into full details of it because I'm going to do a tour on different businesses and how to start them and how to do stuff because it's so easy to become a business owner. A lot of people that say that it's hard to get into business. It is not that hard at all if you plan it in simple ways, or if you have the right people to work with. It's very easy to start a lot of businesses that pay more than what you can make it working at a job. And so my goal that I've been doing in society is I've been trying to help people be the best that they can be. And so first things first, you have to look at your bills. You have to look at your expenses. See where are we going to get started at when it comes to the expenses. I always have this start off everybody with this 80-20 rule.
The 80-20 rule basically is 80% goes towards your bills, your stuff, your rent, your fun activities, and all that. But every time you get a check, you're supposed to take at least 20% of it and donate it into your savings account or spend it on investments or something like that. Whether the investment be just saving it in an investment account where you can get dividends and stuff, like preferably a credit union, not a bank. I'm not really all that fond of banks. I prefer credit unions because credit unions, you're actually not just a member, but you're an owner of that credit union. And so, yeah, I would every time you get money, you're supposed to save 20% of it towards investments and savings. So that way, when you get older, or if something emergency comes up, or if something comes up, you'll be prepared for what the unexpected. Basically, you're not supposed to be going through something without being somewhat prepared. I mean, we can't fully prepare for everything, but to prepare some for the worst case scenarios, it's best that you take 20% of every time you get money or pay and use it towards savings. That method alone has enabled me to help all kinds of people, businesses, streamers, and all that other stuff. It allows me to go in and each month contribute about $1,000 towards different streamers, which, as you've seen earlier today, I showed last night, where I have 7 cores that go towards different purposes. Just a second. And so, basically, you want to save about $5,000. And each month, if you're making $12 an hour, if you're making $12 an hour, that means you should be saving about $100 a month. If you're making $15 an hour, if you're making like $15 an hour, that means you should be saving about two to $300 every time you get a paycheck. Towards that should be going towards either trades, putting back in your bank account for savings, emergency. But I would put it on towards trades. If you save about $1,000 in your bank account, I would start taking some of that and putting it into trades, so that when those trades, if you're familiar with stocks, those that can be rewarding for you and stuff like that. But after you save under that 80-20 rule, after you've saved about 3 to 5 thousand, you can actually start going into a franchise. You can start going into a landscaping company. You can do interior decorating company. You can start your own electric service. You can start your own referral network. You can start partnering with companies that sell their products. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with $3 to $5,000. You can start a cleaning business. You can start a building maintenance company, and you can work under them cleaning buildings and stuff. You get your DBA for $10 to $15, depending on your state is in, and then a couple months later, you can come back and upgrade that to a LLC or a corporation. LLC or corporation costs us $300. I like doing the LLC because you can act as a corporation or a private entity. You can still act private, but the difference between the DBA is if you get sued, your personal assets would be at risk. Versus if you got an LLC, your your personal assets won't be at risk when you file as an LLC or a corporation above. But everybody at least minimally needs to get that DBA. Um, you have franchises like OpenWorks. You have franchises like Janet King. You have franchises like Macklemore. You have ServiceMaid. You have Uber. You can even start a delivery company. Delivery companies are heavily thriving in today's world. What's up? You guys, sir. But there's a lot of stuff that you can do with just saving under the 80-20 rule. And oh, just a second, one more thing. Turn this off. Yeah, that was me. That was me. That was me cooking. And so with Macklemore and Janet King, you can pay minimally. OpenWorks is my favorite one, but you have to have like 5 to 10 grand for that. 2,000 down to start doing the building maintenance or landscaping or general cleaning, and it pays off because you're wondering, well, if I start a franchise, how am I gonna deal with the transportation? I'm gonna deal with the how am I gonna deal with the transportation getting out? How do I have to deal with staff and all this stuff if I get into franchise? Well, franchises like those, they have where you're insured through them for one. Most of the franchise you're insured through them. Number two, they actually help with providing you a vehicle. They actually provide you very good brand new vehicles when you start a franchise like those. And three, about being in business with a franchise, about 6 months later, if you're in a good franchise like those that I just mentioned, they start paying way more than what you can pay at a company, and you can get flexible with it. I used to clean buildings with Janet King and Executive Building Systems, and I started off the first month. I started off making $750 a week, and then after that, we got situated at the 6 months later, and we started making about 4,000 a week, and it was very good money. It required being woke from 7 to 2 through 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had those days off. But the rest of the week we had to. Monday, we went in there, we did the heavy stuff. We did the trash things. And what we did as a method when we came through those buildings and cleaned them is we put 7 bags in each trash can. Where we had the top bag and then you had the 6 that was under, so that when we come through and clean those buildings, the first thing all we had to do was go through and pull up each trash can. I could go in a building that normally would take a person 4 hours to clean, and I can go in that building and clean it out in 30 minutes and be on to the next one, because that's how good we went through. And it was thoroughly, because all it takes is like 5 minutes to vacuum a building that's like what, 2,000, 3,000 square feet for a regular office. And so, yeah, those are ways that you can make money. Landscaping. I did landscaping when I was little. It pays more now. Landscaping pays $60 almost in the good neighborhoods at minimum, almost up to $300 in the neighborhood. And if you're doing commercial, that's a whole different ball game. When you're doing commercial, that can range. That pays off very good when you're doing commercial landscaping. It's easy to start. It takes you about maybe 2 months to get situated if you focus on that grind. Your first couple of weeks can be a little bit rough, but when people see your product and how you service people yard, they'll naturally start asking you to start doing their yard if you're doing the professional. And for every yard that I was cutting, I went and made $200 one time, because somebody's yard was like 7 feet tall, and that was some money that I used to make on the side when I needed extra money. I don't have to do that right now, but that was a very good way to bring in extra income in the household and stuff like that. Delivery service, delivering items and certifying it for companies. That's easy to start. All you need is a vehicle and your certificate. You do a little bit of a training for a week, and you get that certificate, and you can start delivering like the UPS and stuff. But like Uber do, You can basically go and deliver products from company, and you can rack those money up on those really easy. You can set up monthly contracts, you can set up weekly contracts, and that's a lot of extra money. That pays more than actually working at most jobs today when you're doing it privately on your own. The other things, car washes in other areas in the newer neighborhoods and stuff. Car washes have been really thriving lately under their monthly plans or going to thing. I've been noticing that in the Houston area, almost every car wash is being used lately. It's starting to be a booming business. The average car wash place makes almost, as a self-independent owner, it makes almost 100,000 a year, which still makes more than minimum wage. So yeah, to follow the 80-20 rule, that can really help you out. And how many minutes are we in? We're 21 minutes in on this. And so it's a lot of people that are scared to take those risks of getting into a business. They think that it's all that difficult. It's not really that difficult. If you work at a job where you're standing on your feet, where you're standing on your feet, where you're standing on your feet 12 hours a day or so, starting a business is very easy. It's less effort, it's less amount of work actually, because when you're at a company, you're always doing stuff that's actually outside your job title. At least when you're with a business, you already know what you're going to be running into and all that other stuff. You already know what the field is about. Once you get to the flow, it's the same thing. But working for a company, you get shifted around all the time. You don't get paid all the time properly. Some companies, they don't pay right. You have to argue with your bosses. Sometimes you get in disputes with customers. You don't get, when it comes to emergencies, they don't protect you. At least with a business, there's all kind of loopholes that you can have to get out of situations and stuff like that. The way you file taxes is different. When you're a business owner, you can practically write your taxes off on everything, your food, your gas. You don't. There's a lot of stuff that you pay when you are a regular person, as opposed to what you don't have to pay for when you're a business owner, or you can write off. And when you get into those, when you start getting into businesses, business associations will actually start asking you to join their business association, and they'll start sponsoring you. They'll give you incentives on stuff. They'll give you a lot of stuff that you can't get when you're in a normal situation. There was one time where we were doing good in business when my grandmother was around, that we could go 6 months without having to work because we racked that money up back in the day to do that type of stuff. So yeah, I hope that this short video, it helped everybody. Hope that it helped everybody. I'm gonna close this off at 3 minutes, and well, actually now, and see you all on the next video. Peace.